Topic 2, exponential properties review. So your quiz is going to look almost identical to this on Monday. So watch this as many times as you can. The only difference are going to be the numbers, but everything else will be the same. So for number 1, anything raised to the 0 power, so anything that has an exponent of 0, the answer will be 1. Okay. If we look at number 2, we have a couple things we need to combine. The first things we need to combine are the coefficients, so these big numbers. When you're combining big numbers, you're not going to use the exponential properties. So we're not going to add or subtract like we do for the exponents. You're just going to do what's normal. So you'll just do 10. This little dot means times 3. So you'll just do the normal math for the big numbers. The adding and subtracting are for the exponents. Okay, so we'll have 10 times 3, which is 30. Okay, then we can combine the r's, and we're just counting how many we have. So we have 1 r here. Okay, it really has 1 as an exponent. There's 4 r's here, and there's 2 r's here. So we want to combine all of these. So 4 plus 2 is 6, plus another one is 7. Okay, so that exponent tells you how many you have. Same with the b's. So we have 3 b's here, 1 b here. That's a total of 4 b's. When we look at number 3, again, you want to look at your coefficients first. So those are those big numbers. And remember, we just do these like normal. So this 3 and this 15, we're going to multiply. So don't do any of the exponent tricks for the big numbers. Those are just for the exponents. So this will just be like normal. 3 times 15 is 45. Okay, and the first thing we need to do is take care of our exponents, our negative exponents. So anytime you have a negative exponent, we need to bring those to the bottom. So this b to the negative 1, bring that to the bottom. And this a to the negative 2, bring that to the bottom. Anything that's positive can stay. So this a to the 3rd can stay, and this b squared can stay. So we're only moving the negative exponents to the bottom. Okay, and then from here we can combine like terms. We can combine these a's. Okay, and since they're on different sides of the fraction bar, we will subtract. If they were both on top, we would add. Or if they were both on bottom, we would add. But since these are on different sides, we subtract. So we have 3 minus 2, which is 1. And this will go on top because the 3 is bigger than the 2. It always goes where the bigger exponent is. So our answer, a to the 1, will go on top. Okay, we could do the same with the b's. We have a b to the 1 on bottom, b to the 2 on top. So we will subtract these. 2 minus 1 is 1, and it's going to go on top because the 2 is bigger than the 1. This 45 we've already combined, so we can leave that on top. Number 4, we want to take care of our coefficients first. So those are those big numbers. We have a big 35 on top, a big 7 on bottom. And again, we're not subtracting these. Okay, you might think that because one's on top and one's on bottom, so we automatically subtract. But those are only for the exponents. Okay, the big numbers, we just do the normal math. 35 divided by 7 is 5. Now we can combine our x's. Okay, one's on top, one's on bottom, so we'll subtract. 4 minus 2 is 2, and it's going to go where the bigger exponent is. So our answer will go on top because the 4 is bigger and the 4 is on top. Okay, let's do the same with the y's. Top and bottom, they're on separate sides, so we'll subtract. 2 minus 1, this is really a 1, is 1. and it's going to go on top because the 2 is bigger. All right, if we look at number 5, you'll see that this entire problem is raised to the second power. Okay, so we have to distribute this 2 into everything, the z, the y, the x, and the 6. Okay, so this 2 needs to be brought to everything. And when you bring something into the parentheses, you will be multiplying exponents. Okay, so this has an exponent of 1 times the 2 that we're bringing in, so that would be 6 squared. Okay, it's not 6 times 2, we're multiplying the exponents, not the base. Okay, so bring in that 2, 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 3 is x to the 6th, 2 times 1, y squared, and lastly 2 times 4 will be z to the 8th. Okay, we know that 6 squared is 36, so we can actually change this to 36. Number 6, another exponent on top of an exponent, so we're going to have to go in and distribute this 3 to both. So negative 4 times 3 will be x to the negative 12th, and negative 6 times 3 will be x to the negative 18. Okay, we can't have negative exponents, so we'll have to move those to the bottom. So this x to the 12th will be moved to the bottom, this x to the 18th. Okay, and we can't just have a bottom of a fraction, so we will need a placeholder on top, and we'll just use a 1 for that. These are both x's, so we are able to combine them. They're on the same side, they're both on bottom, so we will add. If one was on top and one was on bottom, we'd subtract, but they're both on the same side, so we are adding them. 12 plus 18 is 30. Just go ahead and bring the 1 on top. All right, the back. Number 7 is sort of like number 2. Okay, we're going to take care of those coefficients first. So we have a big 5 and a big 6. Just do your normal math here. Okay, it's telling you here to multiply. So 5 times 6 is 30. All right, and then we'll combine our r's. We have 3 r's here, 5 r's here. That's a total of 8 r's. And we have 1 s here, 2 s's here. So that's a total of 3 s's. All right, number 8. We have another distributing here. So this 4 is going to be brought in, but it's only going to be brought into this second parentheses. Okay, this parentheses by itself, so we can just bring it down. Okay, but there's a reason there's 2 different parentheses, because they're saying this 4 only goes to the second one. Okay, this first one is by itself. So go ahead and bring that down. We'll distribute this in. So 2 times 4, this will be d to the 8th and x to the 4th. All right, we can combine like terms. So we have 1d here, 8 d's here. So that's a total of 9 d's. And we have 3 x's plus 4 x's, 7. Okay, go ahead and bring this 2 down. It's the only coefficient. We can't combine it with anything else. All right, last problem, number 9. We want to look at these coefficients first. Okay, so we have this big 3 and this big 5. We can't combine these just because we don't know what 3 divided by 5 is. Okay, it's a messy number. If it said something like 10 divided by 5, we know what that is. But these can't be reduced anymore. So we'll just leave the 3 on top, leave the 5 on bottom. Sometimes they don't divide into each other. Let's look just at the top, so just ignore the bottom for now. If we look just at the top, we can combine a couple things. We can combine this x squared with this x, turning that into x to the third, and we can combine this y to the third with this y to the sixth. There's a total of 9 y's there. We can't combine anything on bottom, so just go ahead and leave it. All right, and our last step is we can combine these x's. One's on top, one's on bottom, so we will subtract. 5 minus 3 is 2, and it's going to go on bottom because that 5 is bigger. Okay, same thing with the y's here. 9 minus 4 is 5, and it's going to go on top. This 3/5 can stay.